Hey everybody out there in the internet world, and welcome to another Dark Avengers comic book review. A week late, but we're back. We're getting back on track. In this video, me and welcome back Mike, because it's officially June, new month. Mike's back on the weekly panel.
Yep.
And the comic books, good to have you back. And the comic books we'll be reviewing in this video, or this episode, are comics that were released on the date of June 6th, the first Wednesday of June 2012. A little bit of news though. I posted a Tumblr blog about this. I posted on Twitter and I posted on here about the cancellation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I believe it's canceled because they said it was on an indefinite shutdown.
Oh, I hope it's canceled because
they were suspended indefinite. Indefinite means permanent. But a lot of people are saying it's just Paramount being delayed, so they delayed it.
Oh, no.
But being delayed indefinitely, in my mind, means it's canceled. But beside the point,
let's hope it is canceled for good.
Either it's canceled or it's going to happen a year later, I believe. Either way, I hope it's canceled. With all the negative feedback that went towards that movie, I would hope that they're going to cancel it or Michael Bay will walk off set.
I really hope it's canceled because we don't need to see
Even if it happens, I'm never going to watch it.
Neither am I. Absolutely not.
I'm not going to watch it. Amazing Spider-Man I bend for. The two movies I will never, ever bend for. Superman the Man of Steel, when that comes out. I'm not even going to bend for that. And this movie, Ninja Turtles. They don't exist in my mind.
Batman.
Batman, no, Batman's fine. What's wrong with Batman?
Oh no, I thought you...
No, it's fine. The only two movies I
don't know, the new DCU universe.
It's not following that. It's keeping the Christian Bale
okay,
kind
that's
of thing.
good.
Alright, so let's get into the books. First off, this book was not released the first week of June. It was released actually a while ago. It's a prequel to a comic book I reviewed 2 weeks ago, Resident Alien issue 0. I reviewed issue 1 2 weeks ago, which actually said, stop, don't read issue 1 until you read issue 0. However, I didn't notice that there was an issue 0, so I read it. This takes place before issue 1. It explains how he came to Earth, a little bit of, you get the murder, the whole series is set up here. Why this isn't issue 1 and they just make it a 4-issue series is beyond my understanding. It's not even a $1 book, like, you know, those little previews they give you $1. It's an official $3.50 book. It's not $3.50 from Midtown though. You can get it cheaper on Midtown Comics, where I get all my comic books. But why it's issue 0 instead of 1, I'll never know. It prequels the first issue. It's really good. If you're gonna get Resident Alien, definitely get this issue first. It ends right where the first issue begins, so you kind of need this. You do need this to read issue 1. It was really good though, so I would actually say check it out. Really quickly, 2 books. First one from Kaboom Studios, Garfield issue 2. Lisa Moore, my good friend who does videos on here, and she's gonna be back to doing videos really soon. It does started doing the colors for this comic. I love Garfield. I'm sorry, guilty pleasure along with the next book you guys are gonna see. There are a lot of books due to the due to July and the money shortage that I'm gonna be dropping. This will not be one of them though. I love Garfield. I grew up on Garfield. My mother loves Garfield, and yeah, so I like. Everybody loves Garfield. Even my girlfriend loves Garfield. Mike loves Garfield. Everybody loves Garfield. So
yeah, just say that.
So I'm gonna be sticking with this. Really good if you're a Garfield fan. I swear it's worth the money. It's worth it. It's great. Another thing that's worth it, but I found out it's only a 4-part series. I thought it was gonna be an ongoing.
Oh,
it's
really?
not. Popeye from IDW. This is issue 2. I found out that it's gonna actually be a mini-series. It's gonna be 4 parts, but there's gonna be, like what they're doing with Ninja Turtles classics, they're gonna be doing a Popeye classic.
Oh, so it's gonna be a
and that's gonna be an ongoing instead, or something like that. So this is gonna, so this is gonna end on the 4th issue. So in 2 more months this is gonna be over, but they're gonna continue it. They're gonna continue another ongoing with Popeye, which I'm gonna think about actually checking out because I don't have any of the classics. So this is just a this is a mini series. The other one's gonna be a full-fledged series. I like it. Once again, guilty pleasure. Vertigo Comics has 1 book this week for me. Fairest issue 4, continuing the Alibaba story, more in depth on the princess's story. The imp has the Ice Queen steal his bottle and basically to get his freedom. He tells the Ice Princess another story about Geppetto, and I actually got volumes. They actually show you all the volumes here for Fables. There's officially, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 16 volumes out right now.
Wow.
Out of the 16 volumes, I have 6.
So
The
you need
first
10
6,
more.
thanks to one of my kids' parents who actually was, he gave them to me throughout the year, and I love all 6. I'm probably going to do a review on them at some point. I still have 10 more volumes to get, and I believe I got the new Fables that's coming out next week. I don't remember. If I didn't, I'm going to put it in the following order. But Fables is a really good series, and this is a really good series. The artwork is perfect. It connects to Fables very closely. As a matter of fact, in issue 7, I believe, in volume 6, I believe, the Ice Queen in Fables actually makes her appearance. This is kind of explaining how they got to the point they were in issue 1. It ends in an epic battle that you don't see yet. It actually ends with Alibaba and the other princess, not the Ice Princess, the other princess coming out of a destroyed castle, and Alibaba's like, what could have happened here? An earthquake? She's like, no, I think it was some kind of battle. And I like how when she said that on the bottom, next issue, some sort of battle.
Wow.
So the next issue is going to go back and show us what happened and caused all the destruction of the ice. The ice, what do you call it? The ice castle.
Looks like an interesting read. Absolutely.
I'm enjoying it a lot. The artwork is great. I'm enjoying the story. I'm guessing that once this story's over, though, it's going to jump somewhere else into another story, which is going to, like, key into another part of Fables. So hopefully by then I'll have more volumes of Fables. Later on in the year, I'm going to try to catch up a bit more on the Fables books, but it's going to take a while, especially with finances. But it's really good. I'm enjoying it. Originally, I got this because I know my girlfriend likes princesses, but I just fell in love with the series myself. I mean, she can read it too, but I'm just really into this book. It's really awesome. From Image this week, we have Secret, issue 2. Never Get Caught. As I said, a lot of cuts are going to be being made the next month, and I'm enjoying Secrets a bit, but in my opinion, I'm really not enjoying it as much as I'd like to. I mean, it's a nice book. I love the way the pages are colored, how it's black and white, and then there's some full yellow panels. Like, there's no specific coloring.
It brings out the story.
Yeah, I enjoy it and all, but to be quite honest, it's... I don't know, each story just doesn't, like... I don't want to say it's forgettable. It's definitely not forgettable. I remember the first issue pretty well, but... I'm leaving it up in the air right now. I enjoyed the artwork. The story was really good. The story begins with 2 boys getting scolded by their father, but not in the way you guys would actually think. And then it goes into the actual book where it's about one of the brothers, and then it turns out in the end that you find out what happened to the other brother. And yeah, to be continued. I'll see about next month, finance-wise especially, and how many books coming out, if I'll be getting Secrets issue 3. The artwork is really good. The story is pretty interesting, but with a few cuts that have to be made at least for 1 month, I don't know if I'll be coming back for issue 3 right away. Maybe the following month I'll get 3 and 4. It's really good though. I'm enjoying it. I would definitely recommend checking it out. The cover definitely talks about it. It shows what definitely happens in this book. Let's leave it at that. Let's leave it at that. Something like this does happen in the actual book. Valiant Comics is back, and they have 2 books this month. They're slowly coming back. One book, one new series a month for I believe 4 months. By the end of this I'll probably be getting 3 of the 4, and not all 4. I don't know if they show the back. Yeah, they do. Yeah, I think I'm only getting 1 more, and that's the book that comes out this month. Not this month, next month. And then I'm going to probably just let it go. I'm not going to be getting the one that comes out in August. So, Exo Manowar, issue 2. They're still trapped in space with the aliens. I don't know why I put it back. And, I keep forgetting his name. Hold on a second. They basically are using the humans as slaves. They're farmers and whatnot. And, trying to get his name. Aric, A-R-I-C. There's a fight that goes on. Somebody loses their hand, enough said there. Then it jumps to, I believe, 5 years in the future? No, not 5. Oh, it just says years. Years later. And they're still slaves to the aliens, but they're planning a way to escape the prison and get back to Earth. And as I predicted in the last issue, the armor that killed the aliens, well, they go to that sacrificial room or whatnot, and everybody thinks that Aric dies because he puts the suit on, and wow, as you can tell by the cover, he doesn't die. So this issue is kind of predictable. The ending was predictable. Next issue has him wearing the suit, and we'll see if he's going to go up against the aliens or if the aliens are going to actually bow to his will, because the priest in the last part is actually bowing. So I don't know if the other aliens will do the same, or if they're going to try to take the suit off of him, and that definitely is not going to go too well. So I'm enjoying this. I'm definitely coming back for issue 3, though. I'm holding on to this series because it's really good, as well as the new series, Harbinger, issue 1. There is a variant that's like $42 where you can use your iPhone or your smartphone and take a picture of the little IR code on the bottom, and you could have a talking cover. I didn't do that with this. Okay, in this issue, the main character, who's, I want to make sure I got his name right. I like the part, if you guys saw the preview with the monk that bleeds but never dies in the beginning, and it's talking about people with special abilities. Peter Stanchik. He has a gift, but he thinks he's going crazy, so he takes medication to keep his gift under control, because he thinks he's like his friend. His friend is a schizophrenic, split personality nutso, and that plays a huge role in this story. And it turns out that he's back in town. He had run away. He's being chased by a corporation that's been following him because they know about his special abilities. He finds a girl from his childhood that he tries to reconnect with. She wants nothing to do with him because she thinks he's a creeper. He uses his psychic powers on her. He has a psychic ability. Basically, he can mind wipe people. He can do whatever he wants with his mind. So let's just chalk it up to psychokinetic powers. His friend gets taken in by the law. Of course, his friend doesn't take his pill like he's supposed to, so he's going cuckoo in his head. It turns out that somebody comes to Peter in like a dream, not in like a dream, like reaches out to him telekinetically and is like, I can help you. You're not crazy. You're not going crazy. You just have a gift. And he explains the hierarchy of normal people, people that have abilities but don't use it, the latent, those are considered latent, and then the activated people, which is what he is. And this guy offers to help train him to use his abilities the right way, kind of like Professor Xavier kind of thing. Only what he has to do first is he has to leave his friend behind, because he's not helping his friend, he's really hurting his friend, and he has to release the girl because the girl thought he was a creeper. He used his psychic powers on her to make her fall in love with him, so he had to release her too. And the whole issue ends with the police. Let's leave it at that. To be continued. Epic, climactic, to be continued part. I'm definitely coming back for issue 2.
Did you show artwork?
I believe I did, but I'll show some more just in case. I want to grab a good page. Here's a little conversation he had with a guy that wants to help him. Got his name. His name is... I don't think he gives his name. Oh, by the way, the guy that's chasing him is Agent Tully, and this guy is Toyo Harada. So I'm looking forward to the next issue. It's really good. I would highly recommend checking out some Valiant books. These two so far are my favorite. The only other one I'm going to be picking up is Bloodshot, because Bloodshot looks bloody awesome as well. The other one, which is Archer Armstrong, I'm probably going to hold off on. However, let's see how August goes. If August goes pretty well, I might pick it up after all. We'll see.
Well, let's hope so.
Got 2 for Dynamite this week. First one is Voltron Year One, issue 3. Sven thinks there's a traitor in the Alliance, and Sven finds out who it is. and he's going crazy because of the failure in the last. Not going crazy. He's still on the whole failure from the first mission. He actually grows a beard in this. I forgot the name of the agent. There's a whole hit that goes on in the beginning of the issue, which was really awesome, really good art. The artwork great. I'm going to give you guys some artwork in a little bit. Hold on. General Evers, he believes, is the traitor, and he's explaining to the team why he thinks it's him. And the team's like, we have to make sure that there's solid evidence. We can't miss someone like General Evers. We have to make sure that everything's right. And they make a plan, and that's basically the whole part of the book. Because in the end, they actually have a preview for the Spider 3, which, by the way, I have right here. Oh, Spider 2, and I have that right here. So let's get into that in a second. Really good. If you're a Voltron fan, I'd highly recommend this book. I enjoy it. Now, as I was saying, the Spider 2. This book, the plot thickens. The Spider is looking for the woman. I forgot her name. Also, there's too many names to remember everybody. But it turns out in the end that Stanley Kirkpatrick, who is one of the agents there, is I don't want to say a turncoat, but he actually is, he works for the police. He believes that the person who is the Spider, and he's working with the woman, and he's explaining why he thinks Richard Wentworth is the Spider. And so basically the Spider's in trouble now because the enemy kind of knows his identity, even though it's not 100% definite. Artwork, however, is very dark, but it's really good. There is a fight between the Spider and, I want to remember her name for the life of me, and I cannot. He calls them freaks, that's for sure. They're Egyptian, I know that much. The fight was only 2 pages long, though. There are still the zombies that are around on the streets. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. The artwork's really good. I enjoyed the story. The story is just really great also. It kind of gives me a little bit of a feeling of The Shadow. There's a flashback as well. And you find out about the traitor at the end.
I like the
Lieutenant
building
Hill.
in the background.
Yeah,
Like
Lieutenant Hill is the traitor. It's really good. I don't really see too many people reading this book though, and I'm being honest. This is based off of an old series. A lot of people ask me, is the Spider brand new? Did Dynamite just create it, or is it based off of an old comic? The Spider is an actual old comic. It was around back in the 1970s or 80s. I'm not too sure, but there is an older version of this comic series. This is like a volume 2 or 3, I believe. But this isn't a brand new character. This character was around before, and it's really good. And for those of you who are saying, looks interesting, I'd say check out issue 1 because it's really good, and issue 2 is really good. I'll be definitely coming back for issue 3. I'm enjoying it.
As long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters.
DC Comics, did you read this yet? You didn't get that yet? Smallville, issue 2. Continues the story a bit. It's following Smallville's key factor though, really. I mean, except for the flights. I mean, obviously there's flights now, but Superman really, he's in it a bit, but he's not in it a lot. It's really focused around Clark Kent. Hank Henshaw is introduced here. Lex is starting a project that goes off into space, but he purposely sabotages the rocket, and this is the most we see of Superman in this issue, is where he's actually saving, for some artwork, where he's actually saving Hank and his team from the rocket before it completely explodes. And then it all ends with Lex Luthor knowing that there's going to be a meeting between him and Superman, because Superman finds out that Lex kind of did it on purpose. And there's also the introduction of Otis on the last page. So looks really good. I'm enjoying it. You got some sketch art in the back. They're still doing the episodes. They're doing just like they did in the last Smallville comic, where they're going to run down every single episode for 10 seasons. It's going to take a while, but really good. I'm enjoying it. The artwork is really, really good. It reminds me, the way they draw all the characters looks just like the people from Smallville. It makes me feel bad that Tom Welling wasn't really willing to put on the suit. I mean, this series really had potential to move forward for an 11th season as Superman, though. I mean, I don't know if they could have kept it as Smallville. They really could have.
Or they could have changed it to Metropolis.
Yeah, they could have done that too. I mean, it's a good series thus far, and it's being written very, very, very nicely. I mean, if they ever wanted to go back or
yeah, but you know how much CGI they might use on that they did in the series finale. I mean, that could be.
Well, Tom Welling didn't want to put on the suit, or else they wouldn't have needed so much CGI.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why they wouldn't be seeing them, but they should have been.
I don't know, but it's really good. I would highly recommend it. It's digital first. Every week there's another part to the book. Myself, you guys know how I feel about digital comics. I'd rather have the hard copy. If it comes free, like what Marvel's doing, absolutely. My iPod is filled with Marvel comics with free digital downloads. But as far as digital first and then buy the hard copy, no. I'll stick to just buying the book for $4 as opposed to paying $4 for the book and about $4 for the digital, bringing it to a whopping $8. No. Justice League International issue 10. 2 more issues to go, and then this book is being canceled, which is really upsetting. But the team comes back from Paris, and they're trying to find Breakdown and his team, and you get more insight on his team. That this guy, he wants to help that he thinks the government's horrible, and it needs to be taken down. A lot of the team is just regrouping. They're at the hospital. Everybody's 2 of them are still in comas. Amira wakes up. Well, she is up. She just had a she's still in the hospital. She's pretty hurt. Justice League International finds out where they're at, which is Washington, D.C., and they show up, and unfortunately things don't go so well for the Justice League International team, and it's to be continued there. It's really good. Dan Jurgens' artwork is just amazing still.
I can agree with that, definitely.
I love Dan Jurgens'. It's not Dan Jurgens' artwork, I'm sorry. Dan Jurgens' writing is awesome. The artist is, I want to make sure I say his name right. The artwork, the pencils are Aaron Laparezzi. I'm sorry. Aaron Laparezzi's artwork is really awesome. The story that Dan Jurgens is telling is really, really good. I just feel bad that by issue 12 it's done. That's it. More team members are announced to be dying or leaving. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be happening next with Justice League International, even though there's only 2 issues left. And then yet another series that just won't be going anywhere on Dark Avenger. I'm not going to be picking up any of the new 4. There were 4 more titles that are announced for September. I'm not getting any of them. No, not this time. This time around, no, I'm just not interested in any of them. Oh. One is based on a comic that was like in the dollar bins, Amethyst. You never even heard of that. I saw the covers in the dollar bin. And I forgot what the other 3 were, but nothing interesting. So 4 going away and 4 that are coming that I'm not even going to bother with. So Justice League International, really awesome. And now, Mike, your first book.
Okay. Green Arrow issue number 10.
How's the artwork?
The artwork actually has changed for the better.
Really?
Actually, yes. Just want to get the artwork's name. But let me just talk about this issue.
Basically, the artist's name I noticed is the second name on here.
Yes, Steve Kurth. Really great artist for the Green Arrow. We get introduced with a woman by the name of what's her name?
I swear we gotta get post-its and
I know.
where the name.
But basically, Green Arrow meets up with her, and she tries to get herself hurt because she believes that that she's not human, that she's a robot, because there's a big controversy of that. Then when she knocks herself out conscious, just by the way, I'll show you artwork. They see a barcode on her foot.
A barcode on her foot?
Like right here in this panel.
Oh, wow.
And
it could have been just a tattoo.
And Green Arrow is going to go meet up with somebody who is behind it, and his name is Dr. Cognic, but also known as Stan. He introduces him with all the robots, and at first I thought he was a really great guy, but the way he treats well, they're really humans, but he wants them to believe they're robots because he admits that he erased their memory of all the horrible things that happened in the past. So a big fight breaks out, and then he admits about what he's done, and he just wanted to, you know, to let their emotions not be remembered for their own sake, and want them to believe that, you know, that they're robots. Because he wanted to give them a tune-up, and then he forces them to stay, but Green Arrow says they're humans, they can make their own decisions. So they go off.
That looks like a good story, actually.
It really does look like a great story, and in the end, I thought was really like a great moment in the end here, where they go to a meeting, and they say that you're one of us because he wears metal, Green Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
So to not make him feel like an outcast, I thought that was a great thing that they showed. Basically, this comic is saying it doesn't matter who or what you are, you're just equal like everybody else.
Nice.
And I really think that was great. Next issue, The Joy of Crime. Artwork changed for the better. Really great issue.
So you're sticking around then?
Absolutely. And I can't wait to see the next issue. Green Arrow issue 10. Awesome read. Pick it up. And that's my review for that.
Okay, two books that go together. First one is Swamp Thing. To be honest, Swamp Thing is going back to the swamp because he needs to heal. But because he's healing, that leaves Abby vulnerable, because once he starts healing, he can't get up. No matter what, he has to stay asleep. And it's introduced, but he can still watch. He's still watching, but he's healing. And it's actually introduced, one of the characters returns, and we don't know who, he's shadowed away. And then in the end, well, it's not a spoiler because you guys can see right here on the cover, it's Anton Arcane. And he actually is going after Abby, and the return of the Unmen actually happens. And I'm not going to spoil it, but you find out what happened to the Parliament of Trees. Did they really die, or did Swamp Thing do something to try to save them? You'll have to read the book to find out, but really good artwork. There's Swamp Thing healing, and then you get the shadow of the person, which is Anton Arcane. And yeah, epic introduction. It really was straightforward. I feel like the story was pretty short, actually. It just showed them... It showed Swamp Thing leaving the fight against the Rot, and it's just going straight towards the... It goes right to where Swamp Thing goes into the swamp to heal. The rest is all preview to, what book is it? To American Vampire. So it's pretty short. And with that, we're at 28 minutes, guys. So, Swamp Thing, issue 10. Really awesome. I would highly recommend you guys check this book out. We'll come back with its partner, Animal Man, issue 10, in the next part. I've always highly recommended Swamp Thing, one of the few titles that DC brings out that's really good. So, I would highly recommend checking out Swamp Thing. We'll be back with 2 more books from DC, and then the rest is all Marvel, baby. And Marvel is just on the ball. See you guys in part 2 with this week's comic book review.